Hello! Today we're going to take a look at how you would create customized slot buttons in the Tobii Dynavox Compass software Master Page set. And what we are specifically looking at today is if you have a user that you have created a custom board with a smaller grid size, in this case a 2x2 grid size, or maybe a 2x3 grid size, or something that doesn't come as one of the standard layouts with more buttons on it in the Master Page set. And what we're going to do is show you how to create a slot button. And a slot button is essentially a fill-in-the-blank button. For instance, if I have my food button here, and I go to fruit, it could take me to another category, or I could even create a sentence. For instance, right now it doesn't say anything. It just takes me to the options where I can select an apple or a banana or a peach or whatever items I put in there. But to create a full sentence, I could actually come in here and say I want to go to my edit mode and modify this button. And I think I'll actually change the message so that it says the full thing. I want and I'm going to just type in here any one of the fruit items, or I could just put fruit or whatever it is that I'm wanting. Highlight the word that I want to be able to change and say I want to make it a slot button. Then I go to my list of word lists. You can see right up here it navigated to the word lists, and I could pick any of these buttons to have it navigate to. But I'm going to select slot lists. And I'm going to come down here where I have created a fruit folder. I've got apple and banana there. We'll select that one. Now, if I come in here and select fruit, I want it gives me these options here. And this is the one I created with a peach on it. I'm actually going to come in here and edit it so that it says something a little different. Let's say orange. We'll put an orange in, reset that message. We'll come back, and now when we exit out and go back, we have orange as an option. And it will say the full sentence when I've hit that button in the slot list. So it works as a fill-in-the-blank button. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own slot list with our pets button here. And this is, again, keep in mind, these are all custom-made buttons that have been created. You won't find these ones in this format already made in the Master Page set. But what I'm going to look at here is let's make a slot list for our dog about things we may want to do with the dog. So let's come over here and we'll just say we want to modify our dog button. And I'm going to come down here and say that I want to change this message. I'm going to replace it. Let's say, I want to pet the dog. I'll make my sentence. Then I highlight the word that I think I want to replace each time. In this case, we'll do pet. We'll make that a slot button. And I could come in here and say, okay, here's some slot lists. Is there a pet one I can already use? You know, what options do I have? Oh, pet tricks. Maybe if we take a peek at that one. No, that's not quite right. So what I can do is if I'm not seeing the option I want, I can actually come in here and say, let's go into our settings and our vocabulary, and this is where we find those word lists we were looking at. I'm going to create a new one. All right, now let's manage and make a new folder. We'll call this one Dog Actions. We'll pick a picture that we like. Now keep in mind, whatever picture you see here, the user will not see. It's more for you to be able to identify things when you're editing. we're going to save dog actions. There we go. Say we're done. And I'm going to select those dog actions and come up here and manage it. In the top right corner, I can add new items. This is where I can put things like, I want to feed the dog. There's a good one. Or we could put, I want to, let's do a new item, play with the dog. Maybe if I just get rid of with, I'll find a symbol I like a little more. Oh, there, that may be fun, the play catch there. That looks like a good one. But you see, I can create whatever buttons I want that can fill in that blank in that sentence. And keep in mind, you don't always have to use a sentence that you fill in the blank. You could just have the slot page navigate to another page where it would just be a selection of choices or something that you just say outright without having to fill in that blank on the sentence. So I'm going to say we're done here. We'll go back. And what I want to do now is on this page, I'm going to go into edit mode and modify my button. And I'm going to come over here and change this to my slot page now. So I highlight the button I want to fill in the blank. I hit make slot. And then I have to find the folder that I want, which in this case is the dog actions. There we go. Select that one and you'll notice that, oops, it will turn blue when your button has, when your phrase has turned into a slot phrase on your slot button. So now let's try this. So I can pick the one I want. Now you may have noticed when I hit this, down here is the original button I created when I put the word pet there. But I need to come in here and modify it. So go into my modify mode and I can manage this button and change it into, there we go. Change it into something where we're petting the dog. So we actually have an icon to look at. When I close it, it'll reset. There we go. So now we've got some options of what I want to do with the dog. Now one thing you may run into, I've already preset the size of my slot page, which is that 4x4 with the close and the next page on it. So if I had multiple items on, this next page would highlight to let me continue choosing other options. But that is not the default layout that the slot page comes in. So you'll need to keep in mind that when you are using a slot page, if you want it to be closer to the size of the user's page, in this case this 2x2 grid, you're going to go into settings and you're going to go into your editor. Now in editor you can come over here and search for your file and find the file you want to open up. I want a slot picker. And I'm going to select my slot picker with my 4x4. And this is what the template looks like. What I need to do is highlight this area where the buttons I select are. And when I hit the red dot in the editor, it brings up my edit menu. I could come in here and change the layout to whatever size button I want. So you can see I could have buttons of multiple sizes. In this case, I just want that 2x2. And I'm going to save it. If I go to exit, it will ask, do you want to save your changes? Yes, I do. And that will take you back to your 2x2 grid. Now it's default to the food grid at this point. And you may find if you get yourself stuck here, you may need to exit out of Compass and reboot it, but it will take you back to your home page at that point with this 2x2 grid as your setup. And there you have it. That is how you would create a custom slot button in the Tobii Dynavox Compass software and a master page modified page set. Thank you for listening and have a great day.